If you like Trans Am cars, you're going to want to see this. The Trans Am Racing Series began in 1966 with two distinct classes, the under 2-liter engine size sedans and the over 2-liter divisions. American muscle cars quickly stole the spotlight in the over 2-liter division and helped Trans Am become one of the coolest racing series of all time. It's no wonder why American muscle car fans love the early years of Trans Am, as we got to see how professional race teams and factory-backed operations turned street-going muscle cars into track-burning terrors. There is so much here to like, from the engineering put into the cars to the hot racing action with some of the best drivers of all time like Dan Gurney, George Fulmer, Mark Donohue, Peter Revson, Swede Savage, Parnelli Jones, and the list goes on and on. It was a Manufacturers' Cup Series, so the car maker won the points if their brand crossed the finish line first, which attracted resources and backing from the OEMs. And they all played along, with AMC, Chevrolet, Ford, Dodge, Plymouth, Mercury all competing. Trans Am was some of the hottest racing around back in 1970, and the fun thing for fans is that you could go to your favorite local American car maker, stop at the dealership, and take home a street-going version of your favorite race car. Today, we're looking at three of those cars: 1970 Mustang Boss 302, the 1970 Camaro Z28, and the 1970 Plymouth AAR Cuda. Power plants varied in the street-going versions of Trans Am cars. The rulebook stated the race cars needed 305 cubic inches or smaller. In the street, the Ford Mustang got a Boss 302, the Camaro got a 350, and the AAR Cuda got a 340 with a 6-barrel induction. The street versions of the Trans Am cars didn't have to follow the same strict rule book as the race cars, so the 5-liter engine size limit, well, it didn't apply. The 1970 Camaro Z28 is powered by the legendary LT1 350, a newly developed high-revving engine making 360 horsepower and 380 pound-feet of torque, outperforming the 69 Z28 302. The 11-to-1 compression ratio and solid lifter cam pulled plenty of air and fuel through the 780 CFM Holley carb, and the car responded with tire shredding power. The AAR Cuda is motivated by a 340 cubic inch V8 topped with a 3 2-barrel carburetor setup and the reinforced cylinder block straight off the racetrack. The 346 barrel was rated at 290 horsepower, but many claim these engines made well over 320. A 4-speed manual gearbox twists the shaft, and a sure grip rear stuffed with 355 gears helps the AAR to run mid 14-second quarter-mile times. The Mustang's Boss 302 V8 is a stout piece as well, with a special thin-wall high-nickel block machined for 4-bolt mains and featuring stronger screw-in freeze plugs. Stronger crank and rods are part of the Boss recipe, but the heads are the standout. They featured oversized canted valves similar to the 351 Cleveland V8, operated by a solid lifter camshaft. The result is a 10.5-to-1 compression 302 capable of 290 horsepower at 5,200 RPM and 290 pound-feet at 4,300. But they made power way beyond that 5,200 RPM rating and came from the factory with a 6,250 RPM limiter. Very interesting. The Camaro was new for 70, but the suspension design remained similar to the successful first-generation cars. In fact, the Camaro and Mustang both utilized a coil spring front suspension, but the Camaro rode on A-arms, while the Mustang used strut rods. The AAR Cuda used torsion bars up front, and all three cars had a leaf spring rear setup. Z28s often had the dual stripes over the hood and deck lid rounded out by a small deck spoiler. Boss 302s snorted through a shaker hood scoop and featured black stripes, optional window slats and a rear pedestal wing. And the AARs, well, they set the streets ablaze with the widest array of available colors, an organosol blacked out hood, and the traffic stopping strobe stripe up the sides. A vinyl top was an option, and this one looks killer in lemon twist yellow against the black accents. On the racetrack, the Mustang won the Trans Am Series in 1970, with AMC coming in second, Chevrolet in third, Dodge in fourth, and Plymouth last. But who wins in the street car competition? Well, Plymouth sold just over 2,700 AARs, while Ford moved over 7,000 Boss 302s that year. The Z28 was the overall sales champ, with over 8,700 cars sold, even with a late production start date. But which do you like best? And if you're interested to see the AMC Trans Am Javelin, you can check out episode number 88. And for your Dodge Challenger TA fans, check out episode 72 of Muscle Car of the Week. There may never be another era like the original Trans Am, but thankfully there are vintage racing series where people take original Trans Am cars and bring them to the track and run them hard. We recommend you check those out. What'd you think of today's show? Please share your comments with us, and don't forget to subscribe, because we'll have more cool cars like this from the Brothers Collection next time on Muscle Car of the Week.